A wonderful story that I read from a wonderful book. God has never failed me, but He sure scared me to death a few times. It's by Stan Toler and Martha Bolton. Missionary Milton Cunningham illustrates this truth so wonderfully. Milton was flying on a plane from Atlanta to Dallas recently. He happened to have the middle of the 3 seats on one side of the aisle. To his right, sitting next to the window, was a young girl who obviously had Down syndrome. She began to ask him some very simple but almost offensive questions. "Mister," she said to Cunningham, "did you brush your teeth this morning?" Cunningham, very shocked at the question, squirmed around a bit and then said, "Well, yes, I brushed my teeth this morning." The young girl said, "Good, 'cause that's what you're supposed to do." Then she asked, "Mister, do you smoke?" Again Cunningham was a little uncomfortable, but he told her with a little chuckle that he didn't. She said, "Good, 'cause smoking will make you die." Then she said, "Mister, do you love Jesus?" Cunningham was really caught by the simplicity and the forthrightness of the little girl's questions. He smiled and said, "Well, yes, I do love Jesus." The little girl with Down syndrome smiled and said, "Good, 'cause we're all supposed to love Jesus." About that time, just before the plane was ready to leave, another man came and sat down on the aisle seat next to Cunningham and began to read a magazine. The little girl nudged Cunningham again and said, "Mister, ask him if he brushed his teeth this morning." Cunningham was really uneasy with that one and said that he didn't want to do it. But she kept nudging him and saying, "Ask him, ask him." So Cunningham turned to the man seated next to him and said, "Mister, I don't mean to bother you, but my friend here wants me to ask you if you brushed your teeth this morning." The man looked startled, of course, but when he looked past Cunningham and saw the young girl sitting there, he could tell her good intentions. So he took her question in stride and said with a smile, "Well, yes, I brushed my teeth this morning." As the plane taxied onto the runway and began to take off, the young girl nudged Cunningham once more and said, "Ask him if he smokes." And so good-naturedly Cunningham did, and the man said that he didn't smoke. As the plane was lifting into the air, the little girl nudged Cunningham once again and said, "Ask him if he loves Jesus." Cunningham said, "I can't do that. That's too personal. I don't feel comfortable saying that to him." But the girl smiled and insisted, "Ask him, ask him." Cunningham turned to the fellow one more time and said, "Now she wants to know if you love Jesus." The man could have responded like he had to the previous questions, with a smile on his face and a little chuckle in his voice. And he almost did. But then the smile on his face disappeared, and his expression became serious. Finally he said to Cunningham, "You know, in all honesty, I can't say that I do. It's not that I don't want to. It's just that I don't know him. I don't know how to know him. I wanted to be a person of faith all my life, but I haven't known how to do it. And now I've come to a time in my life when I really need that very much." As the plane soared through the skies between Atlanta and Dallas, Milton Cunningham listened to the fellow talk about the brokenness in his life and shared his own personal story and testimony. He explained how to become a person of faith. He did that all because a little girl with Down syndrome had asked him to ask the fundamental question that all Christians should be finding a way to communicate. Do you love Jesus? Do you love Jesus? Let us ask this question today. Let us ask everyone we meet this question. Do you love Jesus? Do you know Jesus? Shall we do that today?